Hi YouTube. Been a lot of requests for tutorials, so I'm going to do a tutorial now and I'll do another one another time. First one I'm going to do is this utility bag that I showed in a recent video. A lot of people have sent me messages saying they want to make it, so I'll just do this. Okay, this is just a Sunday afternoon kind of a project, pretty chilled out, not difficult at all. Okay, so this is the bag and we're going to make it now. I'll show you how to make it now. Now I use a template, so that's my template. Now I can't produce a template online for you to print out because it's bigger than a sheet of A4. Most people print on A4, so what I'll do is I'll put the dimensions in the notes below. Just have a look in the notes below, there'll be an image there with all the dimensions in. Make your own template from those dimensions. Just get some big newspaper, stick it together and cut it out to that size, and then you've got a pattern to use to make loads so much easier when you have a pattern. Okay, let's get straight on with it. So I've got my fabric here, any old fabric could do, and just fold it in half so you've got the salvages up here together. Cut a straight line at the end so you've got a square edge to work from. Then I'm just going to measure the width of the fabric and just do a width. So for my pattern, this is 53 centimeters across, so I'll just cut that out now. So just mark it out, 53 centimeters. Okay. I'm going to use a roller cutter, but you can use whatever you like. Quite like these roller cutters because it saves marking and cutting with scissors and things. It's quite fast. There we go. This is on the fold here, so you want a fold going up to there, so you don't want to waste any. So I'm going to change the fabric now. So we don't have any waste. So you want the top piece with the fold at the bottom, handles at the top. Don't forget your salvage you're going to cut off, so you don't want to go right to the top. And it's not critical, so if it's a little bit over, it doesn't really matter. What I'm doing is I'm lining up the fabric on one of the lines on the board. So this piece I'm cutting out now, cutting a folded piece, and the piece is about 61 centimeters roughly. That'll give you an idea. Keep all that. This bit you cut off, you can use that to practice sewing on the fabric, so use that to get your stitch tension right and all that kind of stuff. That's what I normally do. That'll make a good stuff sack, the bit that got cut off, so keep that. So now we've got the basic shape. So now we have to line everything up carefully. You can see we lined it all up, got our weights on, and what we're going to do is run round here with the cutter just to cut all these out. Keep all these pieces because you might need them. Okay, and then your cutting out's done. Your fold is at this end. When you're cutting, you don't have it at a shallow angle for corners, you have to have it quite upright, and then you can go around the corner. But because it's not critical, you can just whiz this round, cutting through both layers. Watch your fingers, obviously. Keep your fingers behind the cutting edge. There you go. One piece. That, done. So the fabric's all cut out. These pieces you need to make the little bag it goes in later, so keep those. That's your fabric cut out, so you end up with a piece. That looks like that. So that's all the cutting done, and on to the sewing. You can see it's a really fairly quick and easy project to do. Okay, first thing to do, we have to protect the raw edge because there's a raw edge on it and it doesn't end up in a seam. So these areas you end up with a little rolled hem. So you can end up with a tiny 3mm roll. Fold it once, fold it twice, just hold it, put it under your foot. So you're just going to do the first couple of inches, back stitch. Okay, and when you've done the first couple of inches, just roll it as you go. Do about maybe 3 inches at a time. So the difficult bit is going around the corners. The smaller the hem, the easier it is to bend it around a corner. I have tried using rolled hem feet, but I just think they're more hassle than they're worth. It's easier just to roll and sew, roll and sew. We're getting to a corner now. We start moving the fabric round. It's not going to be super perfect because you've got a curve, so it's not going to like it, so you've just got to work it round. There you go, all done. Fine rolled hem there. Now, if you look, where is it? Yeah, add a little loop. See it in there? Add a little loop. So if you ever get that, sometimes you get it, it's not a problem. Just find where the loop is. Don't cut it or anything. Just put that bit, hold it down flat, and just sew over the top backwards and forwards, and that'll secure the loop down. And then once you've gone over the top, then you can cut the loop if you want. Right, so you've done your little rolled hem. Repeat that on all the curved edges, both ends of the fabric, so I'll bring you back when that's done. Okay, so when you've done all that, you should have all the edges nicely rolled. Now, if you haven't done micro rolled hems before, then you've probably got a bit of swearing gone on by now. You might have thrown it across the room because it is really tricky, but just practice, and it's quite a handy skill to have, so it's worth having a go at that. So all the hems are done now, all round. Don't go across the top, don't need to. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to join the tops. So turn it inside out, so you want right sides facing. This is the right side of the fabric, like the bag's inside out. Okay, next thing we're going to do is do the handles. So all we're going to do is sew across there about a 1/4 of an inch seam. Okay. Well, no, 1/8 of an inch, quite close to the edge. We'll do that next. So just to help me a bit, I just line up the fabric. You can either pin it, but I like to use clips. So just put a clip there just to hold it in the right place. I'm just going to sew across about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, so pretty close to the edge. fabric I want to move, so just hold it. Do the same on the other handle. So, sewn across, inside out. Turn the bag the right way out now. So now the handles are on the right way out. So the right side of the fabric is out. Just fold where you've just sewn, just fold it over again. Hold it, and this time you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch, so double what you did before. And the idea is the seam gets hidden inside this stitch line now. This makes a really strong handle, so if anything fails it won't be the handles. Handles are nearly done now. So now you've got a French seam, which is no raw edges inside and out, if you've done it right. And then you flatten it out. This is the right side out. You flatten it, because there's a little bit sticking up. You flatten it, and you just sew that down. And that'll just make a really nice, neat handle. So stretch both fabric either side, flatten the little flap down, and then just sew that down. Easy. That then is almost a finished handle. You'll see in a minute there's one more step to go, but it's easy. But in terms of strength and things, that is it's called a French flat felled seam. So that's nice and strong now. So do the same on the other side. But basically you've got 2 handles. Now, turn the bag inside out again. So you've got right sides facing and wrong sides out, and all you need to do, make sure the top lines up. This is on the edge of the bag now. Make sure the top lines up. Start at the top where the curve coming off the handles is, and sew one seam down. We're going to do a French seam again, so you want 1/8 of an inch, something like that, from the edge all the way down to the fold at the bottom. This time you want to hold it, make sure these edges are lined up all the time, because it'll definitely want to slip on you. I hold the back and the front, it makes it easier. Okay, do exactly the same on the other side. So both sides are done now. Turn the bag right side out again. Something that's important is get these corners out, otherwise the stitching won't work properly. So just put your scissors or a little stick or something in there and just poke the corners out so they're nice and square. Like that. Okay. And then it'll stitch properly. So on the long edges, start from the bottom of the bag this time. Make sure that seam's pulled out properly. And all we're going to do is sew down 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to hide that seam inside again. So this is just a basic French seam. When you get to the end, this bit will be taking a load. So you want to go backwards and forwards about 4 times. And that'll give it the strength it needs. Same on the other side. So now we have the bag almost done. So you've got the nice handles, you've got the side French seam. So that is a suitable bag now. But if you want to do the special sort of edge to it, then you do the next bit. So you take the handle, this is the edge of the bag, you fold it in underneath itself. Okay, you just line the fabric up, just grip it. If you don't have these quilting clips, just use bulldog clips, it's okay, you don't want to use pins. So that's created like a double strength handle. At the bottom we're going to fold this corner in, so just pinch it, separate the fabric and just fold that corner in. Just fold it in on itself. Seven centimeters, something like that. It's not critical at all. Just want it to lie flat really. Make sure you push that corner really far in. It goes all the way in. You have to make sure is this corner is touching the bottom, touching this edge here, because when you sew through that, that will hold it and pin it in place. Yeah. So you got your folded in inside edge there. You got at the top, you got your handle folded in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew down there just to hold that handle in, and then we're going to sew along there just to hold that fold in, and then that's the bag itself done. So let's do that next. So you got your handle, just flatten it out, where you folded it over, just flatten it out and run it through the machine just to stitch the two layers together. There you go, that's one handle done. And you go to the bottom where you folded that corner in. Just feel with your finger where the end is, and then just sew about 1/4 of an inch from the edge to where the end is that you've tucked in. There you go, so that's one edge done. One handle done. Do the same on the other side. So if everything's done right, you end up with a bag like this. So you have the bag, you have the V inside which creates a box corner. You have the double layer handles which give very strong handles. It will carry full of milk or coke or anything like that, it's really strong. So that's the bag itself. Now you have those bits of fabric that you cut out from the handle, which are these. And we use that to make the stuff bag that this goes into, this then sewn into the bag, so we'll do that next. The first thing we need to do, take your pieces you cut out, and on the straight side just do a small hem, as small as you can, just to protect that edge. Double roll, sew down, so do that first. So you got your edges done. Now to do the pocket with a flap that goes over. So what you need to do is you need to stagger these. This much is the amount of flap that goes over. So I'm gonna say overlap by 2 inches, fold it under. Okay. Okay. So you got that. Make sure it lies flat. Okay. So you've got a flap folded under, opening there, which will end up being the outside of your bag, but at the moment it's on the inside. And what we've got to do is just sew round from the top here all the way round. So from the top all the way down, round the corner, and then all the way back up, double stitching as we go. Okay, and we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch from the edge. So it's done now, so it's sewn all round. You can see about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. You end up with a bit around the bottom, so just trim that off. If you've got any bits sticking out the side like this, just trim those off as well. Sometimes the fabric stretches a little bit. So now, pocket's nearly done. Now we just need to seal this edge, so either you can run a flame round it, just to seal it, or you can fold it over just a little bit and then just sew down. I'm going to fold this over and sew down just to give it a bit of strength. So there you go, all the stitching's done around the edge. Got a nice little double fold now so it won't fray or anything. So turn your bag inside out just to check everything's okay. So you end up with a bag with a flap like that, and then the flap just pops over the top to hold your bag in like that. Okay, so now we have to attach it to the bag. So we have to attach it to the bag inside out. So attach it to the bag inside out, and then you fold it the right side out when you're actually stuffing the bag. So you take your bag, where the handle opening is, you take the edge that's not got the flap on, so just the single edge, and what we're going to do is we're going to sew that inside the handle, but we're just going to sew maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches across there like that. Go backwards and forwards, so nice and strong. So I'll do that now. And there you go, the bag's sewn in, inside out, on the inside of the bag, and the stuff sack is inside out and is sewn on that single seam that's not got the flap. So now, I'll show you, so now your bag's inside out. To stuff the bag, just fold it right side out, and then shove all the bag inside. So you got that, and then you just flip the top over. And there you go, that is your bag. So that's your bag, super lightweight, super useful. Just carry loads on you. This one's going to my wife, I think. She needs some new ones. So yeah, really easy project for a lazy Sunday afternoon. Hope you have fun with that, hope it goes alright for you, and see you on the next video. Bye!